Okay, so here we go with our next program. This one is called Rhombus, and I've already executed my program. This is the output that we see here. This figure made with an asterisk. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but now that you know what the program's output is supposed to be, I invite you to pause the video and attempt to recreate this on your own. I'm actually going to walk through right now and code out a solution to this. In IntelliJ, I'm going to go to File, New, Project. Our JDK is already selected, so I simply just need to go Next. I'm going to go Next past this screen, and I'm going to navigate to a different folder. You may not need to change folders. You may already be on the AP Computer Science Principles folder or CSP folder that you want to work in. I'm going to title this project Rhombus. And because I changed locations, I'm going to have to manually type out. Let's try that again. I fat fingered a enter key there. I'm going to navigate to our AP Computer Science Principles folder. I have to type out my Rhombus project name, but I'm going to ensure that we have a subfolder here. Subfolders are great. They help us keep our code organized. I highly encourage you use them. It's going to ask me, do I want to create that folder because it doesn't exist, and I will. This window is perfectly fine. So I'm going to expand my project folder. If your Project Explorer pane is not visible, you can double click here and it should expand it. Inside of my project folder, I'm going to right click on the SRC and we're going to do a new Java class. I'm going to call it Rhombus. It doesn't have to be called Rhombus. Right? Keep in mind that a project folder is just that. It's a folder. It's to help keep your code organized. I'm only working with one file here, but in the future, it may be multiples. Okay, so we have our class header, right? Public class Rhombus. These are reserved words or keywords. They tell the Java programming language to do certain things. Really, we're just naming our file. In this case, Rhombus. Inside of these braces, inside the body of the class, I'm going to write out a main method header. That is public, static, void, main, open parenthesis, string with a capital S, capitalization does matter, brackets, args. This is the main method header, right? These orange words, the fact they're orange, just like these up here, should be sending off alarm bells. These are reserved words, right? These are words that are set aside in Java. They have a special meaning. They're doing something unique, each one of them. We'll figure out what all that stuff is later, but this is the main method header. And a lot of this stuff, it's not important to you right now, not going to lie. This is just basically where the program is going to start. It's going to look for this main method header and then start executing the program. I'm going to also have some braces indicating the body of my main method. Notice I've indented here. Right? The indentation helps indicate that this main method is inside of the class. Inside of the main method, notice that we're indented yet again. I'm ready to actually start writing the meat of my program. Okay, what do we want? We want to print out that figure. Maybe I should have taken a screenshot of it, but we want to print off that figure, that rhombus that is just made up of an asterisk, several asterisks. What I'd like you to recognize is that right away we're going to need our print command, system.out.println, and then parentheses, right? This is the command that is going to print to console or terminal. In our case, it's going to be our printout down bottom. System.out.println, that is an L. So whatever we put inside these parentheses, that is what will be displayed. Well, I want an asterisk, that thing. So inside of quoted text, I'm going to put an asterisk, and notice IntelliJ is mad at me. That's because this is a statement all by itself, and all statements are going to end with a semicolon. So this should give me one asterisk. Why don't I go ahead and execute what I got? This is going to be my first time running the program, so I'm going to right-click in free space, and tell it to run. It'll take it a moment, but we see, boom, an asterisk shows up here in our console. Okay, well, I won't like multiple asterisks, right? The next line is like 2. So I'm going to use a separate system.out.print line, and we're going to do 2 asterisks. I've already executed the program, so all I simply have to do, I actually want 3 asterisks, by the way. All I have to do in order to execute this program is hit my little play button to run it again. Okay, so we quickly see that multiple print statements allow us to print multiple things, kind of like with haiku. However, I really want this guy to be centered with this. And I want these 3 to be centered with another set of 5. Why don't we go ahead and plug in our set of 5? System.out.println or print line. And in the quotes, I'm going to do 5 asterisks. I'm going to execute this so that we see that everything is working. Okay, so we're starting to see our pattern emerge here. Again, I'm going to want these things to be centered. And here is the next leap in logic, is inside of this quoted text, I can put a space. Inside of this quoted text, I'm going to do 2 spaces in order to help center it there. Now, what you should be recognizing is that just like asterisks or any other character, space itself is a character. And as long as it's in this quoted text, it's going to show up in my output. I think we kind of subconsciously think a space is something unique, something special, something different from the other letters of the alphabet. But in the realm of programming and computer science, space is a character. Now, if you get a little adventurous, you might play around and like, what if we put like a space here on the other side of this quote, or a space here? Notice that there's no red squigglies. IntelliJ is not mad at me. So this actually works syntactically, and what we're going to notice is that as long as it's not in the quoted text, it's actually kind of ignored, right? This spacing, as we're going to see, is for you. You can put spacing throughout your program to kind of help you align things, but as long as it's not in the quoted text, it doesn't really matter. You'll notice that on the back side of this asterisk, there's no extra spacing. It's not necessary, but it also literally doesn't show up, right? If I try to highlight, there's really no spacing here. You could put that if you want. Maybe you like the way it looks. Again, it's not super relevant, but we end up with stuff that looks like that. I do kind of like to have what appears in my code kind of match what appears in my output as much as possible. This will give us the top of our rhombus, or a diamond. I guess it kind of looks more like a diamond. And to get the bottom half, I'm simply going to copy this guy, paste it, copy this one, paste it. Let's run this one last time. And there it is. Our big takeaway, space is a character. This has been Rhombus.